far as the PR team for 25, that's what I need my PR team to be. Hey gems, it's Cinderella LG and welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I am bringing you guys a very new series that I'm doing on my channel that I'm very excited for. As you guys can see, I've set the ambiance for you. We have the fireplace going. We got the handy dandy little sidekick. We have the wine glass. We got everything. And the most important thing that we're going to be using today is going to be our diary. So this is my diary. This is the diary that I actually write in, and the fun part about it is the fact that it's actually a iPad. So I actually do use my iPad for so many things, and one of the things I use it for is to put my inner thoughts inside of it. And I remember I used to do videos, like when I first started my channel, I used to do videos where I was literally just talking to the camera about the things that were going on in my mind, the things that I felt so strongly about. And a lot of them were rooted in self-help and wellness and stuff like that, with no credentials whatsoever. I didn't even have my bachelor's degree in psychology at the time. But now as a master's graduate, I mean, I have my master's in psychology. I still don't know anything. And I'm not doing this series to kind of show you guys like a different side of psychology. Actually, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to use this series to basically tell you guys what's going on in my mind, the things that I kind of think about that I think everybody thinks about, but things that might also help as guidance for some people whenever they kind of seem lost. So that is what we're doing with this series called the Mental Wealth Diaries. Welcome. This is very fun to me and exciting to me. I'm very excited to do this, and I'm very excited to be back on track with Vlogtober. As many of you guys know, as you might have seen my community tab, as you might have seen on Instagram, if you guys are following me on Instagram, I have been going through it. Mentally, I have been going through it. And I wouldn't even call this like a post-grad depression or anything like that. I wouldn't even call this kind of like a moment where like I'm having like my, I don't know, early life crisis. Do they have one of those? Like, I know they have midlife crisis, but do they have like early life crisis? And like, what if you're not on the earth like as long as you thought you were actually gonna be? Then would your, like when you were actually in the middle of your age, would that be your middle age crisis? We need to like really think about that. But okay, that's not what this video is about. This video actually is about the transition period of your 20-somethings. So oftentimes I think that people have this idea of what they want their 20s to look like. I think we all have this idea of what we want our 20s to look like. And when we finally get in our 20s, we realize that it's nothing of what we thought it was going to be. Like absolutely nothing. In fact, it's like we were lied to growing up, watching those shows like Friends, Living Single, whatever shows they got 20-somethings, like just living it up. All the shows that we watched where people have their things together, and you know, sometimes they don't, but they glamorize it. It just was a lie. It was a lie. Or really, they didn't show us the hard part enough. That's why I enjoy shows like Insecure, shows like, other shows are really escaping my mind right now, but other shows that kind of basically show the reality of what it's like to live in your 20-somethings. I actually really like that. Like, I really like that shows will show you it's not always going to be perfect, especially in this age. And I specifically want to talk about the transition period in your actual 20s from 25 to 26. That whole little area right there. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do is close your eyes. Close your eyes with me. I'll close my eyes too. Are we closing our eyes? Okay. So I want you guys to all picture what you thought 25 was going to be like. I'll tell you guys what I thought 25 was going to be like for me. I thought that I, at 25, was going to be in optometry school. Yep, I thought I was gonna be in optometry school. I had a whole vision board. I had multiple vision boards growing up, but I'm gonna paint mine for y'all right now. I thought I was gonna be in optometry school, wrapping up, you know, be done by 27. I thought that I would have someone that, you know, I was madly in love with, that I wanted to start a family with. I thought I would even start having kids around this age, like 25, 26, be married. I thought that I would live in this huge, beautiful house with a Hummer, the Hummer 2. Yep, I thought that was gonna be my car. That was my dream car for years. I thought that was gonna be my life. I thought I was going to be happy. I thought 25 was going to be the age where I'm like, okay, all my dreams are going to come true at this age. This is a beautiful, magical age. And that is oftentimes what we see about 25. 25 is, whoever is the PR team for 25, that's what I need my PR team to be. Because the PR team for 25, when we were growing up, was just so like glamorous. It was just so awesome to be 25. And the more we actually get into 25, we realize it's not short of 19. It's not short of 22, you know? It's not short of us trying to figure out like why our lives are not exactly the way we want them to be. So that 25, 26 area, and even 27, even 28, even 29, that transitional period in your 20s where you're not so much in your younger 20s is a hard period, because you're now realizing, or you're now thinking, I should say, because not realizing, because realization comes in reality, whereas our thoughts can also be distorted through our own reality, you know? So those early 20s, you know, I feel like we thought we were very expendable. We thought that we could make a lot of mistakes at that age. We thought that there was always kind of like a cushion for us. For some of us that were lucky enough to have that kind of cushion, like with our parents, you know, with our schooling, the different decisions that we wanted to make. You could change your major 3, 4, 5 times and still, you know, graduate on time when you were still in those early 20s. You know what I mean? And some people made it seem so easy. But the reason that 25 and 26 I found is such a hard transitional period for me and my peers specifically is because we're kind of at that age where we feel like we can't make mistakes. We can't afford to lose any more time. We can't afford to kind of be those innocent adolescents that we were before. Innocent in terms of life. Like, you know, the problems that I had when I was a teenager, I kind of wish I had, not kind of, I wish I had those problems right now. I wish that those were my biggest problems right now. And it sucks because our problems that we have are all relative to our current age and our current period in life. I remember, trigger warning, suicide. I remember when I was in high school. POV, you're in high school. Your father won't allow you to not take a math class even though you're advanced in math and you don't have to take math, but your father won't let you because he's like, hold on, I'm not gonna let you not take a math class. Math, I feel like to everyone is just so universal, so you have to take a math class, right? POV, you're in calculus, advanced calculus, AP calculus, because you're an advanced student. But you just don't get it. You just don't get it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I failed probably every class in calculus to the point where I had to like go down to regular calculus because like I couldn't be in AP calculus anymore. It just was not working for me. I could not. I failed every single test that first semester except for 2. And I remember when I was failing these exams, I had to bring my grades back home. There was one day where I literally found out that I got like an F on a test again. I'm not talking about like, you know, oh, you got a 60 or a 50. No, I got like 30s and 40s on my calculus exams in high school. It was just like, I wasn't getting it. I just was not getting it. Eventually I did in college, but I just was not getting it. And at that time, me not getting calculus was the worst thing that could happen to me at that time. And I really wanted to drive my car into a tree and hope that I would lose my life. I hope that would, like, you know, solve all my problems. Those were my problems that I had before. Now the problems that I have right now are paying rent, making sure that my dog is fed and, you know, taken care of, making sure that I'm taken care of mentally, physically, emotionally. Kind of like dealing with the fact that, you know, at 25, I'm still single and I'm seeing people younger than me that have romantic relationships or romantic interests, and I feel like I am less worthy because I don't have that for myself, which is a whole nother mental wealth diaries that I'm gonna get into in another date. But these are things that I used to think to myself, like, what is wrong with me? You know, when I was younger in high school, me continuously failing tests in calculus, AP calculus, was where I was thinking, what is wrong with me? Whereas now I'm like, you know what? It would be nice to have the problem of, you know, not passing a calculus test. Like, that would be great to have those problems. So I think it's important to note that, like, whenever we do see people complaining about their problems, although we might not feel like, oh, or we might feel rather that someone else has it worse than me or someone else has it better than me, you have to think about the problems that are relative to you. All the problems that we have at the moment that we're having them is all we know. All the life that we've lived is all we know. It's kind of dismissive when you think about someone else's problems and you think, you know, you don't have real problems. Because all the problems that they know or they have are, you know, all that they know and have. That's all that they've experienced in life. So what they know, those are their problems. So instead of hearing, like, you know, other people's problems and like kind of dismissing it as though you don't have real problems, kind of like think about, okay, well, what can you do to make your problems, you know, alleviate? What can we do to alleviate the pain or the worry or the angst that you have? So that's something that I had to like really think about in terms of me and myself too. That's why I work the way I work throughout life, is like, I think in my mind, okay, the problems that I have right now, can I fix it? If so, great. If not, then I will cry about it. That's the only thing I can do about it. So your problems that you have at your current age is all you know. And that's something that I had to learn, especially like, you know, in this age of 25, is like, the problems that I have right now, in a few years, I'm gonna wish that I had these problems. But right now, I'm going to try to make the best of these problems. I'm gonna try. And everybody's mental health is different. And that it's very important to note that mental health is still health. It's still important to take care of your mental health as much as you do your physical, your emotional. Anything that is going on with you up there, it matters. And don't discount that. And everybody's is different. No one's is worse than the others. No one's is better than the others. Doesn't make you a better person or a worse person if you have certain mental health disorders or mental health incapabilities. It doesn't matter what you have going on. Just because your mental health might not be far on the spectrum or less on the spectrum, it does not mean that you're better or less than somebody else. That's another thing to definitely note. And navigating these 20-somethings is like, none of us are, we're all running the race. We're all running it, but it's our own. You're not racing with anybody, okay? One thing that I had to continuously remind myself, I'm not racing with nobody. I'm not racing with nobody. I'm in no rush. I found through this age also that sometimes, and this sounds pretty for lack of better terms, sometimes the journey feels better than the destination. Sometimes the journey feels better than the destination. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had goals that I wanted to accomplish, and then when I finally get there, I feel emptiness. I feel emptiness inside of myself, where I feel like, damn, did I do enough? There's always more that can be done. Why did I stop here? What else can I do to make myself better? Oh, this person did it this way, you know? Look at how and what I did to get here. And sometimes that climb, that hustle, that journey that it takes for us to get to that place that we want to be is what feels the most rewarding. Knowing that we did that. Like, you did that, things you did is that. I think the reason why it kind of feels like we're a little empty too is because you get all the congratulations, you get all the well wishes when you're like already there. But sometimes you feel so alone getting there that it's like, okay, all this love is not real. That's not the case though. It's not the case. It doesn't mean that the love isn't real. It just means that, you know, throughout your journey, sometimes it's easier for people to just show up when it's convenient. I do believe that doesn't mean that people are bad or good or anything like that. I think it's a neutral thing. I think it's just human. I think as humans, we kind of tend to stray away from conflict. We try to remove ourselves from complicated situations, and that's all journeys are. It's complicated situations over and over again until it's not complicated anymore. You know? So I think as human beings, it's natural for us to feel like you know, when I finally get here, it doesn't feel the same as I thought it would. It's normal to feel that way. But rewarding yourself is the key. Knowing that you did that is the key. I think another part of it is like our external validation. That plays a big role in like this transition period that we all go through. Our whole lives, we've been externally validated. Our whole lives up to this point. Through school, our validation literally, quite literally, negative or positive, came from grades, came from our parents, our peers, and automatically that we were seeing, what, 8, 10 hours a day? More than we even saw our parents? Our validation came to us, quite literally came to us. And now, who are you supposed to seek validation from? Bosses? Because they don't have to do that. Grown people don't have to congratulate or give praise to grown people for doing the job that they were paid to do, you know? You don't have to do that. We don't get that constant gratification that we once got from external validation from our teachers, our priests and pastors, our parents, the youth groups that we were in. We don't get that automatically as we used to before. So now it feels like a little empty. It feels like the only person that I can find congratulations in is myself. So we have to be comfortable with that fact, is that without trying to sound so harsh, we are all that we have. It gets even worse because external validation as we grow older comes in many forms. There's social comparisons, social media comparisons rather. Social media, when I was growing up, wasn't as like, you know, hard hitting as it was now. Yes, there were so many girls that I admired, that I like, it was like, oh my God, they are the cool girls, love them. But now it goes beyond just being like a cool girl. It goes beyond just like having like, you know, cute clothes from Limited 2 and Aeropostale and Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister. It goes beyond that. I mean, you gotta wear like the Chanel, the bags, the designer. Like everyone is looking for how to be like the top, how to be on top, how to be better than the next person, the last person. Everybody's looking for that now and how to top other people on social media. I mean, if I tell y'all, prom back in my day, and that was even just 2014, prom back in my day was much more simple than like the productions that like people have now. Much more simple. And then we have the validations from our peers and parents. I don't know about y'all, but I still live to make my parents happy. I still live to hear, Cindy, you're doing a good job, from my mommy and daddy. Love it. Love hearing it from them. I really do. It lets me know that for me, the people that raised me, that kind of have the same mindset as me, to an extent, it lets me know that I'm doing the right things, or I'm going in the right direction if I'm pleasing them. So, and then my peers, knowing that you're on the same level or better than, or like, you know, y'all are all grinding for something, it feels good. It feels good. And when that gets shat on, it just feels like, dang, I don't know. I don't like the way I feel right now about this. And lastly, we can lie to ourselves. Imposter syndrome is a real thing. And I feel like going back to like, you know, the journey being worth more than the actual destination. Imposter syndrome is a real thing where we can literally have everything that we already dreamed of and still not feel like this is our real life. Still not feel like this is actually where we thought we were supposed to be. Still trying to grasp for straws of where we're going, you know? Stepping out of that and realizing that actually is me. I'm going to be beyond my own expectations. And I already am beyond my own expectations. Is how I try to, like, you know, remind myself, hey, shadow of doubt, get out of there. Those were just a few of my thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to kind of give you guys an open space to talk about some of the things that kind of go on within my mind. And if you guys have any suggestions of what you guys want to hear for this mental wealth diary series and what you want to hear for the next video, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. I do have like 2 other ones already planned out that I'm very excited to, like, you know, go into with you guys. I just felt like this one was one that was on my spirit and one that I wanted to definitely talk about with you guys. So this is the mental wealth series. I hope you guys are liking it. The mental wealth diary series, by the way. Make sure that you guys are following me on all my social media. That's on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. I do be making TikToks every now and then. I do. So yeah, find me on those. Go ahead and like this video if you liked it. Comment down below what you liked about it and subscribe to your girl's channel. And I would love to see you guys in the next video. And happy Vlogtober. I promise I will now be consistent. And if I'm not, then get on my ass. I'm not even mad at it. I'm not. I promise I'm not. So cheers to you guys, and I would love to see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed and beautiful gems, and I love you so much. Smooches.